Hi, Peter Boolkah here, and welcome to today's edition of The Transition Guy. Now, a couple of episodes ago, I may have done an episode, a bit of a rant around haters. And that really came about because I was just fed up of reading all the negativity that people were choosing to post online. And really, there was just no need for it. I think it's just people are in a bad place. And if someone's trying to do something a little bit different, and they're not doing anything about it, it's easier to bitch than change. So yes, I had my little rant online and it was amusing for many people, but the highlight of that was really, the world doesn't need to be that way. We don't need more nastiness in the world. We just need some solutions. We need a better way forward to deal with the nastiness that perhaps is out there. And that's what led me to review the episode guide and what I produced. And I chose out my favourites that really, right now, if you're stuck in lockdown or you're having that mental negative sort of moments where you're not feeling your normal self and the situation's dragging you down, you really need to pump yourself with stuff that actually will make you feel empowered and not disempowered. And I'm finding that the more that the people watch the news, the more disempowered that they feel, and that's not great. You want to be feeling empowered in a situation like this. You want to be looking for the hope and what you can change and the improvements you can make to become that happier person. We don't need more misery, we need happiness. So I went through the episode guide, and actually number 2 sprung to mind, get what you want out of life. And that's very much around sort of determining what you want, what actions you need to take, but more importantly, you need to go back and what education you need to have to change as a person to be able to deliver on that. So that's a really good one to get you started. Then we've got mindset mastery, and it's more like on what we focus on. Whether we choose to be that positive, proactive person, or do we really want to be that negative, whinge-baggy kind of person. And we know these people that are forever negative. It could be absolutely sunshine out there, and they would be the only person it will rain down upon. So it's all around your mindset mastery, really important stuff that I don't teach you at school. Number 22, that was an interview I did with Byron Nelson, an American motivational speaker, and it's why entrepreneurs need to keep learning. And we always need to keep learning. I mean, speaking with Byron, one of the clear messages were that, you know what, our past does not determine our future. We are not defined by our pasts. Yeah, our past is what sort of shapes us in the beginning, but doesn't mean who we are. So as we keep learning, we have that ability to change. We have that ability to grow. And I love what it wasn't Stephen Covey, it was Jim Rohn that said it. He said, never wish your problems were smaller, wish you had better solutions. Then we had 34, I did an interview with author Michael Losier, who wrote the book Law of Attraction. And it's true. What we focus on, we attract. And you can imagine, if we've got a lot of negative thoughts and a lot of negative emotions, what do you think that attracts into our life? A lot more of the same. We don't want that, do we? We want positive stuff. Then we're talking about the quality of life. We all can aspire to have a great quality of life, but actually there is a process to get that, and we need to go right back to the beginning, the quality of our education, and we can change that any time of our life. Just because we maybe didn't necessarily have the best experience at school doesn't mean that we have to stop learning. We can start learning at any single time. A lot of people choose to start learning again in their 40s. So that's a really good one to start getting you back onto that happy learning bandwagon. 62, how to turn tough times into an opportunity. And that was an interview with former Black Hawk pilot Elizabeth McCormick, who had to really stop flying. That was her absolute passion because she had a medical condition that didn't allow her to fly. And for many people, that would just be totally soul-destroying. And she had to reinvent herself, and she's highly successful today. So in adversity, you can have your greatest success. It's just having the mindset to get through it. So her story was quite fascinating. And many of you are going through tough times. Many of you may have lost your business or about to lose your business or have lost loved ones. And actually at times things can be really shitty. But it doesn't have to stay that way. We just need to start looking at, what do we need to change? How do we get through this? What support do we need? And by learning from other people's stories, we can do that. Then we've got lost your mojo, and at some stage, we all lose our mojo. And I did that episode after a bout where I perhaps lost my mojo, picked up on it, and really wanted to talk about why it happened. 94, staying positive and motivated in life. Now, again, you look at it, it's so easy to get carried away with wallowing in self-pity. And this was an interview I did with James Malinchak, which is, again, he is an American speaker, motivational speaker and public speaker trainer. And he went through some personal adversity, actually, that could have really sort of knocked the stuffing out of most people. But what was interesting with James was his attitude to it all, and actually not allowing himself to get consumed with grief. Learning to deal with it, but learning to move forward. And yes, we all go through moments where we are unhappy. But that can just be a temporary state, not a permanent state. So after the interview with James, what did we go on to? Keys to mental strength. Now, keys to mental stress, I did that interview with Alden Mills, who is a former Navy SEALs operative. And as you can imagine, being in the Navy SEALs, does one need to have a degree of strong mental attitude? Absolutely. I mean, they say that BUDS training is probably one of the most difficult things you are ever going to do. So when you're sort of speaking to a Navy SEAL, they'll give you a different perspective. And that's what Alden does. It's around that mental agility. And as much as I did sort of Alden, I also did Mark Devine on episode 106. So Mark Devine is also a former Navy SEALs. He was a former Navy SEALs commando, author of a number of numerous top-selling books. And again, he talks about the mental attitude. And that's what's going to get us through right now. You think about the lockdown period and how if you've been locked down for 6 to 9 weeks, how that can really start to work on your psyche and really get you down. This is where we need to dig deep and, more importantly, have the framework and the tools that will allow us to cope. And then 109, How to Break Your Limiting Beliefs by Robert Glazer. And a lot of us have self-limiting beliefs. I used to have loads of them. I remember coming out of corporate life and having just bucket loads of self-limiting beliefs. And what I realised, it wasn't my self-limiting beliefs. I allowed other people to impose their limiting beliefs upon me, and I made them my own. So here's a resource list for you to sort of get positive, get motivated, and get in control of the current situation. Now, if anything I've spoken about today resonates with you, head over to Boolkah.com, get in touch, leave comments below, let me know what you think, let me know your experiences. I like feedback, please. And more importantly, if it's of value to you, please share with others. And remember, failing to learn is learning to fail. Please stay safe.